Hello! Yes, this is my queen. I'm afraid I can't speak at the moment. I am shooting a video. Yes, my next YouTube video. Goodbye. Oh yes. Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you so much for your questions. So I put up a post, or I put a series of posts around asking me questions on my Instagram story. So yes, I have answers. Now I would say that we've got different subject matters. So I would put them into different categories, starting with fashion and business. So my first question, and I've made a note on my phone, multitasking, and I've got my laptop as well in front of me. So my first question from Louise, and I do know her. She's actually based in Paris. And the question she has asked is, "Hi Mo, I think it would be lovely if you speak about how you overcome difficulties, how to stay positive, and how to launch a fashion business." For me, persistence is very key. And in everything that you do face challenges. It's all right to cry about it, but it's all right to be upset about it. But you can't stay down for long. And most importantly, if you are passionate about a subject area, you would just keep going until you get to your goals. Obviously, you have to be practical about the passionate part of it. You have to be practical about having a source of income. You might have to decide that you want something complementary, at least until you get to a point where you can follow your passion. So yeah, so I just keep it going. I've had quite a few negative experiences that could have knocked me off. Some could be around costs, some were around the wrong products being sent to me by the manufacturers, or having like 40 products which are different from what you place an order for, different things. Or there are times that the factories could be overwhelmed and not necessarily have the capacity to do your orders, and then you have to find someone else. But every time there's something negative, something positive has come out of that. For me, I look for my lessons learned. If it's positive, great. If it's negative, I try and pick out the lessons from that, and then I move on. So the other question you've asked is how to launch a fashion business. Um, Firstly, you have to really passionate about that subject. You have to be passionate about fashion. There are different areas in fashion, whether it's accessories, women's wear, or you might want to go into high street retail. You might want to be like a merchandiser. So there are different areas that you can work in retail. So yes, and then for me, like it's important that you have some kind of experience or education around what you do. I personally have to have some kind of educational background or context to what I do. So whether it's going on a course or getting experience by working for much bigger brands, that's really helpful. And then I think with every business you go into, including fashion, there's always like a structure that you have to follow. So, with the fashion business, you're creating your sketches, you're going into factories to look for your raw materials. You can either make the products yourself, or you look for craftsmen that would actually do the work, down to runway and production. So yeah, so there's a whole structure that you have to follow, and I am going to do a video that details that. But yeah, there's a lot of resources around that, there are courses around that as well. So that's that. Thank you, Louise. And my next question is from Doncare. She's a doctor, actually. So well done with everything you're doing in this crisis. Thank you so much for your question. You've asked me where did I get my inspiration from making leather handbags from. So growing up, I used to watch my mom's accessories. I mean, I did borrow some, conveniently. But yes, she had some luxury chest boxes, and I was very much obsessed with them. So in certain places in the world, and I think it's quite common with the Italian culture and African culture, the bride gets gifts, and they're usually put into luxury chest boxes. So my mom had that, and then she had others that she bought. So when I started designing, in my mind, I already started on sketches around something I wanted to be structured And I guess then there was a lot of the materials they used were quite authentic. So again, I wanted that, and that's why I pay attention to sustainability and using tanned leathers, which are naturally processed. So yeah, so when I started out, I didn't think that my brand would do as well, but thankfully we've got platforms like Fashion Week where you get to showcase your work to press buyers, and people who are genuinely interested, in leading brands and want something different. So yes, next question. This is actually from fashion model. She's gorgeous, by the way. Zaira Velma. You should check out her page. It's actually in Spanish, so I've had to speak to a friend to translate it. But I do love Spanish, but yeah, I'm still far away from learning the language. But maybe I can do that whilst I'm in quarantine. So yeah, so what she's asked, so I'm going to translate that into English, is in what era would you have liked to have lived in? So I would say the late 60s, early 70s, when in Manhattan, New York. So apparently properties were incredibly cheap. So yeah, compared to now. So, and then I would have liked to have lived in Lagos, Nigeria, during the era of rock music. The fashion as well was just amazing, like knee highs, um, the Afro obviously, and a lot of that is coming back. So yeah, so that's that question. Next question. Hi, so moving on to the next subject matter, hair. Let's talk about hair. So I've got two good questions. One is actually by LA-based hair guru, and I'll put her details below. Embrew Theory. What's your favorite hairstyle? I'll be honest, yes. I've had a number of hairstyles, but I would say in the last 18 months, I've actually stuck to very natural hairstyles. My top one is my natural Afro hair. So absolutely love it. When I have photo shoots, or if I have any type of modeling work or runway, that's the hair I love. I just literally just go for it, and I always have amazing results. So yes, I like that. And I think the agencies like it too. I love my twists, which is what I have on now. So yeah, that's my next favorite hairstyles. Both are very much manageable. I don't have to use too many products, but yes, love it, love it. So the other question I have around hair is, so this is from Donker again in London. What hair products do you actually use for your Afro? So I've got my twist on now, but when I do have my Afro, so I use a number of products, but I had to test them over a couple of months. I had to make sure that it works for my skin. I've got like really sensitive scalp. So the key ones for me is Jamaican black castor oil. So I use that maybe about once every week. Really works for me, helps with my dry scalp, helps with growth. So if there's any area in around your head where you've got issues around hair growth, you can actually use that. Or if you've got hair patches or something, you can use that. It does help with the growth. The other products I use for my scalp is I combine a mixture of organic aloe vera gel, and it has to be organic, so you can't use anything else. So organic aloe vera gel, I mix that with glycerin and rose water, and I usually get that from, if you're based in the UK, I get it from Boots, so I'll put the details down below. I actually found out about that mix by someone who was a hair specialist, so I'll put her details down below as well. I was listening to her podcast one morning, I was going through my Instagram and actually heard about that. And that has been so far one of the best solutions that I've used for my hair. With regards to shampoo, I can vouch for that. But again, you have to know what works for you. This is actually Tresemme for dry hair. So it's got a conditioner and it's got shampoo. So I use both to wash my hair. I'll be honest, I stumbled into Tresemme because when I had to take out my extensions and wash my hair, I would use Tresemme products. So that's how I started using that. But I moved on to this one, and this is really nice, but I will share the details below. So that's it for hair. Moving on to the next subject area. I'll start on travel because that's quite short. I think I got 1 or 2 questions on that. But the one I'm going to touch on is, what's your favorite travel location? So I've been to, yes, very well traveled from a very young age, been to lots of countries, and yeah, I am quite thankful that I've had that experience, especially, in light of what's going on at the moment. But what really stood out for me, or the location that really stood out for me, is the Caribbean, which is also home. The island of Antigua. Oh my God. I'm going to put up some clips, but yeah, amazing. You should go there. And for me, it's just the people, the food, the beach. Oh my God, the water there. So yeah, I mean, that's definitely one place I can't wait to go back to. So yes. Next question. So this is actually from Mukesh Kumar. I think Mukesh is based in India. If you could barge into someone's place, who would that be? I might get into trouble answering this part, but yeah. So I would say Richard Branson has a beautiful place, in the island of Mecca, I think it's called, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So yes, I preferably want an invite, but if I had to barge into it, then yes. Am I allowed to say where else I'd like, who else's place I'd like to barge into? Yeah, actor Michael B. Jordan. So yeah, but like I said earlier, I might get into trouble for that. For the obvious reason, yeah. So I think, yeah, definitely loved his work, especially the Black Panther movie. So moving on to the next question. I would say this is more miscellaneous. I've had a number of messages, positive comments about my work. Thank you so much. Stay safe messages, which means a lot at this period. I wish you well as well. And please stay safe. Please make sure you're washing your hands. The one that really stood out for me, Joe, was by a lady called Yana Ramaj. So Yana, I looked at your page and I thought it was amazing that you're promoting and supporting work around, having the right protective garments or face masks or products during this period. So I thought that was really great. So yeah, so that's it from me. Thank you so much for joining, and please like, share, subscribe, and I definitely look forward to more questions and sharing more videos.